that we actually see cloud coming and cloud changing the IT landscape. From that landscape, we go into the cloud certification landscape. So I already touched on it a little bit, like, does certification have a role? I think so. I think it's very important. So what does it mean to you to certify yourself? Well, personally, I believe that if you take certifications, your skills are current. It shows that you take initiative and you want to be at the forefront instead of leading the pack, instead of just following and trailing behind. It can also differentiate you from peers. Like I had a neighbor who was a IT specialist or a maintenance specialist at Dell. He said, yeah, I just really want to learn more, so I can differentiate from the other peers and continue to have my job and maybe even grow to another role. I think it also provides assurance to management that it validates the skills, and they can basically build on your skills and build on you, and therefore it keeps you valuable and marketable even when perhaps an economy doesn't go so well. And I think the last one, personal certification and recognition. I recently took a Kepner Trago course about problem solving. I really liked it, and it's great to just learn more skills and improve yourself. And that's in a nutshell, I think, why certification on a personal basis could be very important. But it's not just the, let's say, personal side that can benefit from certifications, also an organization. So if an organization says, yeah, you should take a training, how does that help them? Well, it helps them to build in-house cloud competencies. So I think it's important if an organization has people available that can actually do the work instead of having to rely on external consultants. And not only that, but also if you know things about the cloud, it helps with cloud adoption. If people are, let's say, don't know much about the cloud, they can be fearful. They can say, well, I don't really know what it is, so I don't want to change. I'm happy where I am now. And if people know why to go with cloud computing, then that helps the adoption. The third bullet from the top is make the right cloud decisions. So somewhat related to the first bullet, the in-house cloud competencies. If people have the right skills and an organization has people they can rely on, they'll make better cloud decisions. So you get money saved, and therefore the fourth bullet down, you get more out of cloud investments. So you just spend your money better. Fifth bullet down, high cloud project success rate. So you're just more successful with cloud. And I think all of these factors also come down to raises the management confidence level. So if things are going well, if you have the skills, and if you use cloud technology for the right reasons and for the right types of let's say business lines, then yes, it's very good also for management to actually do this. Before we go to the next slide, maybe you can pull up another poll, Srilakna, on personal, if they have been certified already.
Sure, I will just pull it up now.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see if people are still listening.
Yeah. They are.
Oh, that's already good news.
Do you also plan to give any demo, Korean, during your presentation today, or?
A demo I wasn't planning on, but I can certainly do something. What are you thinking of?
Yeah, why not? We have this question. So somebody is asking. He says, "Can you please display scenario 1 slide again?" So if it's not too irrelevant now, if you could quickly go back after the poll answers come in to scenario 1 slide. Okay, so I'll close the poll now, and the answers are somewhat like this. 53% says I hold one or more IT certifications today. 34% I have earned IT certifications in the past, and 13% say I do not have any personal need for certification.
Okay, well, good results, yeah. So a lot of people have experience with certification in that sense.
Right.
Great. Um, because the next slide was going to be on, let's say, what certifications are out there for you that could be interesting. But you wanted me to go back to the scenario 1 slide, is that correct? This one. Are you still there?
This is scenario 1 slide. So yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we could pause for a couple of seconds, and if you want to touch upon any quick pointers, you could do that as well, and then you can move on with the rest of the presentation.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's not like these scenarios are 100% accurate. I did basically go with, have some subject matter expert on this look at it as well. And in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's somewhat correct, but it's more designed to just be a talking point. So if, and you could just do this for all kinds of assignments, if you create a on-premise cloud solution, then various roles within the organization will have an impact, and they will need to know things about cloud. They will maybe lead some projects or just take part in project teams, and the roles here in orange are the ones that are impacted if you decide to create an on-premise cloud solution. So it's really just designed to map out which roles do you think will be impacted when you do something within your organization. So you could do something similar for other cloud projects. If you say, well, I'm going to use Dropbox for storage, then well, which roles are impacted? Or if you say, in the other scenario, if you build something else, which roles again are impacted, and then you can start thinking about, well, if these roles are impacted, what am I doing? Am I training these people? Am I ensuring that we maybe get somebody from external in to actually fulfill this role if we don't have it? Do we need some help there? For example, if you say, yeah, network specialist in the technical services roles, if you don't really have a lot of expertise, then yeah, perhaps you should outsource that or get somebody to help you do that. Or again, train people so they have the skills to actually support it. So that's in a nutshell how this slide is used and how this mapping can be done. So it's not that these are all of the, for example, in project management, there's nobody in orange, but you could say, yeah, but somebody needs to be involved there too. So it's not that this is 100% representation of a specific organization and this is always how it is. No, but it does show some information that gets you thinking and to actually use this template yourself. I
Thank you
hope
so
that answers
much.
the question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So again, really just a tool that you can use. So after this one, so basically I just was discussing why you could certify yourself, what are the advantages there, also why organizations should bother with certifying their people. So if you want to convince your boss and say, hey, I want to go on a training and can you pay for it, then you can use this slide and say, look, I just attended a webinar and they really say it's powerful to get people trained and to have internal cloud competencies. So you can use this slide. On the next slide, there's just the landscape of some of the most neutral cloud certificates. So I work for ITpreneurs, and the only thing we do is, or at least mostly, is provide vendor-neutral certifications. So certifications for standard bodies like TOGAF from the Open Group, or COBIT from ISACA, or Cloud Essentials from the Cloud Credential Council. And that's why we partnered with the Cloud Credential Council, the CCC, as you can see somewhere towards the bottom, is that we want to provide vendor-neutral training, and they provide the syllabus. And when basically, I'll get to the history of the CCC just in a little bit. But if you look at their programs, they are vendor-neutral, and they are complementary to, let's say, vendor-related training. So if you have a VMware basic training already, then I think the professional courses from the CCC are very relevant. They also get input across industry, so it's not just that the cloud industry or cloud vendors are providing input into the certificates, for example Microsoft. For example, also Deloitte provides input into the CCC. So it's not just that it's coming from one area. I think it's also multidisciplinary because the CCC offers courses and certificates from, let's say, for the security guys, but also governance, for service managers and architects, but also if you're in sales or account management, I think the Cloud Technology Associate certificate is very relevant for that. Last one is global. They're also global, so that's something that is important for us because we provide training globally. The only thing they don't have yet as much is the brand recognition, because, for example, if you go to VMware or you go to CompTIA, that brand is generally stronger than from the Cloud Credential Council. So I think that's something that they still have to work with. However, if you're saying, well, I'm really, let's say, dedicated towards technology and I'm dedicated to VMware, then VMware could be very relevant to just take VMware training. But I think a vendor-neutral perspective to, for example, VMware training can be very relevant. So that's why I think courses from the CCC are very relevant because they complement, let's say, technologies. For example, if you have only certified yourself on VMware, it could help to, let's say, take a more neutral course and think about maybe there are other technologies that are also relevant but not offered by, say, some of the vendors. So that's why I think it's very relevant to do a vendor neutral course. I could come back to the sheet if there's any questions on that, but here's basically just a quick slide we put together on the landscape of certifications. Again, there's discipline specific. So for example, on the bottom right, there's the CCSK. Perhaps you're familiar with that. That's the cloud certification offered by the Cloud Security Alliance. And again, that's really discipline specific because it's really just for security professionals. It's vendor neutral because it's offered by the Cloud Security Alliance. So that's why that one is on the right side. Then, for example, VMware training, usually that's discipline specific as well. Same with Microsoft, where you can get certified on a specific technology stack. And on the bottom right, obviously, there's the courses that we provide with the Cloud Credential Council as well as with CompTIA, because those are vendor neutral, and we have multiple different courses for people to take.